Hey everybody, it's Dr. Goldner, just getting every place live, and we'll be starting in a moment with a very different version of Wellness Wednesday today. I wanted to do something special. Okay, live in all areas and ready to go. So it's Dr. Brooke Goldner, it's Wellness Wednesday from Goodbye Lupus, and what I do every week is I come on to give free coaching to the public to try to help you all with your health and your life in general. And while it can't replace seeing a doctor who can actually see you back, I give generally good advice that I hope will help you be healthier and happier and reverse diseases. But of course, talk to your doctor before making major changes to your diet and all that good stuff. What I wanted to talk about today, which actually was a little different, was inspired by someone in my Smoothie Shred Facebook group. So I've mentioned before, we have a free Facebook group for people who are trying to follow our programs, who just want to have a support system. How many of you don't know anyone who eats like you do, right? Well, Smoothie Shred is a free Facebook community that's moderated by my husband and me, but really people are there to share their lives, their results. Even today, someone just posted about, how she has normalized all of her labs and feeling amazing. Thanks to being on our program, and so people can inspire each other. Then other people are like, oh, I fell down, can you encourage me? So it's a very lovely community. Well, we had somebody who posted and said, hey, for those of us who are struggling with money right now, how do we do this if we're not rich? That's the summary of what she said. For those of you who are not from the US, there's been a government shutdown here. I'm sure most people have heard of it. And now it's affecting people who are receiving SNAP or government subsidized money for food. And it's a nightmare. It's awful. Nobody should have to ever go hungry. It's just an awful thing. And I know that there are people who depend on that for their food. And listen, you do not have to be rich to do our program. Those of you who know my background, my story, I know a lot of you do. Some of you might have just seen this for the first time, but I reversed my disease while I was actually really living on very low money. I was an intern, and I was living in Los Angeles because that's where I was doing my residency, and I could not actually afford my own rent. And I had a studio apartment in Long Beach, California, and my studio apartment still was too expensive for me without help from my then fiance. I wouldn't have been able to pay my own rent with the income I was making working $80 to $100 a week. That's the life of an intern. So I had to rely on a lot of different things to be able to eat the food I needed. And I'm going to talk about some of mine today that I've used. But we've had people, Kim, who shared her testimonial a couple of years back, lives on welfare, had lupus, was in a wheelchair, and on welfare still found a way to meet plan and reverse her disease. So it's not something that only wealthy people can do. And what a lot of people commented in Smoothie Shred was actually, my grocery bills are less than they ever were before without buying milk and dairy and processed foods. But still, we're living in a time where it can be hard. So I thought, rather than me just talking at you today, that maybe we could all support each other. So I'm going to start by sharing my tips for how I was able to get the groceries I needed at a lower cost. But what if all of you on YouTube, on Instagram, in my Facebook group, on my Facebook page, what if all of you comment under this video with your tips on how you've been able to nourish yourself and your family without breaking your budget? And maybe we can create this video can become a feed that then has support for people who need it, not just in the States where maybe the food benefits are coming down, but even other places in the world where money for groceries is limited. And maybe we can do something together to help everyone who's struggling right now. And if you don't have any tips, maybe you can just give encouragement for those people. So again, for people who are just joining now, I see people are coming in. What I want to dedicate this to today is all of us sharing together tips to help people who are struggling with the money they need to get the food that their family needs so that they don't have to sacrifice their health. Now, listen, if you don't have access to food at all, if you don't have any money for food and you rely on going to a shelter or a church to feed you, then you're going to eat what they serve you because you're going to have to survive. And that's the reality. But if there's any leeway in which we can get in the foods that people need, then maybe we can offer support. So I'll start with what I have done in the past when I didn't have much money for groceries or anything. And I mean, I literally, like, my hair was so long because I wasn't spending money on haircuts. I still don't get manicures or anything like that, but there was no money spent on anything else. We didn't go out to eat. We didn't, it was just really living. Like, thank goodness the hospital had meals during the day, because it really was hard to survive in Los Angeles without significant income. It was a real, this is how bad it was. I didn't have a bed. I was an intern going to work in the hospital, working 30-hour shifts multiple days a week, and I was sleeping on the floor of my studio apartment with a blanket that was given to me by a friend. So if anyone thinks that I'm just like, the only reason I was able to do this was because I was just like born rich or something. No, I came from a middle-class family. I have a ton of student loans that I still haven't even paid off yet. And I started out sleeping on the floor of a studio apartment to be able to go to work every day. And I was still thrilled because I was living my dream of being a doctor. I did get a bed when my mom came to visit. My mom came to visit and saw that I was sleeping on the floor. And she's like, no, I didn't tell her. I didn't even tell her that I didn't have furniture. She's like, no, you're not doing this. So I went to work one day, and when I came home, my mom had bought a bed for me and a dresser and even a couch. So I had furniture at that point. So when I say that I was able to do this without having much money, I want you to understand, I'm not just talking about not having having a middle-class income or something. I'm talking about, like, I literally was just trying to survive at that point. And so what did I do? Well, I did accept help where I could. So I did let my fiance help me pay for my rent so I could have a place to live. But when it came to food, there were things that I learned. Number one thing I learned, and this might vary in different places, was that a lot of dollar stores actually have produce. So that was a big deal. And I found certain dollar stores, at this time I was living in Long Beach, California, but maybe other places. I found that there were many dollar stores that had produce, and even organic produce. So when there's like overfill from grocery stores, other places, or maybe it's expiring, I don't know how they get it all, they will give it to the dollar store. And you can tell if it's expired, or even if it's expired, a lot of times it's still good. So I actually would, I'd go there, and I found out from the people who worked there what days they would get their deliveries of produce. So on those days, I would go get the deliveries, and I'd go in, and sometimes they would have like 10 boxes of organic greens there. And I was like, yeah, take them all, or broccoli or other things. So I wasn't picky about which ones I got. Whatever they were selling, I would just get it. If it was produce, I took it home. So that was one thing that really helped me a lot. That was a really big deal. And I'm encouraging anyone who's coming on now, ways that you can save money on nourishing yourself for people who are struggling with the money for food right now. So I'm sharing mine. Please share yours. Let's support each other. So that was one. Dollar store. That was amazing. I had no idea until I discovered it, that there are dollar stores that have, and it's $1 for a box of organic greens. I mean, that was amazing. So that was one thing. Walmart often has sales too, and Walmart even has organic, but you don't have to get organic. I didn't buy organic most of the time unless it was like dollar store. It was just any greens will do, or any raw veggies would do. The other thing that I found is that supermarkets, get to know the produce manager at your supermarket. All right, produce manager. I talked to the produce manager. Number one, they will mark down anything that's expiring for you. Bananas that are already spotty, anything that's old, you can tell them, listen, hey, I'm really in a budget. I need produce. Do you have anything that's like on its last day that's expiring that you would give me at a discount? You'd be amazed. And they'll just go and type up a new tag and put it on there. The other thing I always ask them for is bulk prices. So when I was making, especially making smoothies and stuff for my whole family, bananas, we use so many bananas, right? So the produce person would give me a deal if I bought an entire case of bananas, like a giant case full of bananas. He would give it to me. I'm trying to remember now. I think it was like $18, but that case would last me so long. And what I would do is as soon as I would use it until it got too spotty, and then I would freeze the rest because frozen bananas are fine. And then I'd have a fridge full of frozen bananas too. So talk to the produce managers and find out if they will discount things for you that are expiring, or if they will give you bulk prices on things, especially that you can freeze. So that really made a difference for me. And then the other thing that I did regularly is I would go to farmers markets. Now, not everyone has access to farmers markets, but the farmers markets in California are awesome, but they're often kind of high priced. But here's what I learned about farmers markets. The people who are bringing food in, the farmers, do not want to take any home. They don't want to put anything back on the truck. So I would come to the farmers market about 20 to 30 minutes before they closed. And then I would go to the people selling produce and say, hey, what would you charge me to take everything you've got left? And I wouldn't even know what some of it was. Honestly, there were sometimes I'd bring something home. I'm like, it's green. I don't even know what it is. I'm going to blend it. Like, just whatever they said. And so I have had so many times where for $20, they gave me 4 full grocery bags brimming over the top of tons of different kinds of produce, whatever they had left over, fruits, vegetables, everything. That would have cost me over $100 easy at the supermarket. So those were the things that I did that got me through really struggling to make ends meet and still wanting to get healthy. And I was able to still reverse my disease. Oh, I forgot to leave out. I left out. I forgot to say, even the dollar store had sales on flax seeds, $1 a bag. I stocked up on flax seeds. I got like so many bags of flax seeds. So dollar stores have been pretty amazing. And like I said, ask them when they get their deliveries, and you can find your way there. So those are the things that I did. So what I want to do now is actually lean on the rest of you to give your advice on what you've done to help yourself with getting all of this in with on a budget. Oh, Claudine, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, so it's really important. This is a real issue, right? And so I think when things get hard, the best thing we can all do is support each other, right? Because we're stronger when we're supporting each other and holding each other up than when we're trying to make it on our own. All right, I'm gonna skip over to C. Where you guys are yeah, see, Elizabeth saying it's affecting government workers. We don't have any income at all. This is awful. It is a terrible situation right now. People literally not getting paid who need to feed their families and themselves. It's just absolutely horrendous. So let's see how we can help each other. You're welcome, Nicole, for saving your life. Thank you. Let me see if I can get to that because I want to focus on that. I don't have as much time today. We have a new group going and I need to pour all my time into them that I can. But I do also want to make sure that we address this issue. It got my heart when I saw that this person posted this and I said, you know what, this is important. Let's talk about that. Okay, let's see. Okay. Claudine says, I shop at Aldi's and Lidl as that is the cheapest. I buy things on sale and shop everything. That's great. We celebrate plants as dry staples, legumes and grains batch cooked every week. So there's always something super cheap and wholesome to keep the belly fed. Absolutely. So that's not like Goodbye Lupus protocol, but you know, for general health and health maintenance, absolutely. Okay, yeah. So Pride says, I got off opiates and Adderall, which saved a lot of money. Yes, getting healthy saves you a ton of money for sure. And it's definitely true. You know, a lot of what people are saying in Smoothie Shred, I agree with totally. That we often, when we invest in our health, we save money and suffering later. So that is definitely true, but not everyone has even that. So I understand it. Oh, Cindy, let's say, but congratulations. I'm really happy for you. Cindy says, not buying meat is saving a lot of money. I helped my son with food and now I have him drinking green drinks. That's awesome. Paul says the bunches of spinach and kale is less money than the bag. That is true. Absolutely true. Let me see. Okay. Jem holistically says my family and I will feel it. However, food banks, shopping in bulk, and eating plant-based meal prep, all of that's great. Pro Games Weekly says BJ's membership, $15 a year, gets me a pound of super greens for $4.95. All right, that is a good price. That is a good price. So if you're able to do that, that is something good. That might be expensive for some, but a big deal for others. So thank you for sharing that. Let me see here. Oh, Bear's Little Angel says, if you can grow any type of garden, even containers, buckets, boxes, you can grow tons of spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, collard, Swiss chard, and more. This is true. Unfortunately, for people like me, I am great at keeping people alive and saving people, but I am a terrible gardener. I do not have a green thumb. So I have not personally been successful with gardens, but I think part of the reason is I don't actually check on them much because I'm so busy with my other stuff. But I've never tried the box or container ones or anything. So I know those indoor gardens that they have, those can be expensive, but sometimes you can see them on Marketplace or other places. So yes, if you have a green thumb, oh my gosh, that would be fantastic, definitely. For a lot of us going into winter, that'd be tough, but maybe those indoor ones, that's a great idea. Cindy, my produce section always has a section of same day best sold by that offers a discount. Fantastic. All right. Fella says, a few years ago, I went to multiple different food banks in my area and told them I was a vegan, and they let me take extra fruits and veggies because I wasn't taking meat and dairy. That is really a great idea. Let's see here. Oh, a lot of people are having some good ideas. Dana Roby said that she buys flax oil from a company called Azure Standard that drop ships in a cold truck, and it's less expensive. I'm learning. That's great. Are you guys taking notes? Because these are some fantastic ideas. Let's see if people on Instagram have ideas. We're talking about ways to save money while still nourishing yourself. So we're going to help all the people who are either not getting paid right now with the government shutdown, or losing their SNAP benefits, or anybody anywhere in the world who struggles to get the food in, and because of just costs, right? So let me see here. So we're doing that instead of the usual thing. All right, let me see. So Amarie00 on Instagram says, started making raw cruciferous soup, saves the cost of fruit. Making cold day smoothies is easy and savory. Okay, so that's a good idea. So if you make a savory smoothie, then you don't need fruit in it. So that's a great idea. Lily Nutters, I go and get the yellow stickers at the supermarket that go out of date, 50 to 70% off in the UK, and not many people want healthy food. That's great. Yeah, when you go to the stuff that's expiring, they're usually still fine. And you know, in worst case scenario, you can freeze it, especially if it's fruit. Okay. Work Fitness Center loves Costco. I love Costco too. Selling produce in bulk, reasonably priced, even organic, is definitely more affordable than supermarkets. Let me see. Let me see here. Street Market. All right. Let's see here. Anybody else on Instagram? And yes, you can totally use frozen fruit on the Goodbye Lupus protocol. Someone's just asking that. Oh, here we go. OFE 1023 on Instagram says, I got a case of bananas yesterday, already spotting for $3 for the entire box. To understand, a case of bananas has, how many bananas was it? It's like 40 bunches, or 20 bunches. Maybe I'm over it. Maybe it was like 20. It's a lot of bananas. $3. Oh my gosh. That's an amazing deal. Amazing deal. And that's something for the whole family to snack on too. Fantastic. Let's see. Other people who have the chronotype. In the UK, I buy bulk kilogram of flax and chia on Buy Whole Foods Online UK. And Tesco sells 500 grams of spinach for $167. That's great too. Absolutely great. All right, let's see. Smoothie shredders. What are you guys doing to save money? Let's see here. Carrie says, I farm and raise produce for a living. You can grow your own greens, onions, lettuce leaf, carrot tops, turnip greens, celery, if you put the tops in water. I've always wanted to try that, Carrie. I've seen that on little reels before, where people put the tops of a carrot or something in water and it grows back, and I've been throwing those away. Actually, I often eat the tops. I like the greens. I don't waste greens, but still, you could grow them into carrot. So that's a great idea too. And you can Google how to do all these things, but that's probably something I could do and not kill, is just put something in water in my kitchen. So I'm going to try that. Kelly LaBelle says, if you belong to a church, let people who garden know that if they have an abundance of produce that you would love some. Reaching out for help is great, especially asking churches, synagogue, mosques, wherever you go for worship, or even if you don't go there, you can ask for help. I have someone in rapid recovery right now that this is a different thing, but I really wanted her to get help with cleaning her house because she just was too sick to do it. And she just felt like it was hard for her to ask for help. And I said, there's people who love to volunteer. So she asked a church that she doesn't belong to, and they sent someone over to help her with her cleaning. Like, there are people out there who want to help you, and asking. You never know what you get till you ask. So that is a great idea. Andrea is saying, or Andrea, depends. I'm from New York, Andrea, but I've heard Andrea in other areas. Aldi has the best prices in my area for fresh produce, frozen fruit, almond milk, and other foods besides raw. I get flax and chia seeds from bulk discount store. They have the lowest unit price. Checking unit prices is helpful for the deals. Discount grocery stores have good deals too. Let's see. Oh my gosh, we have someone in our group who actually says she's helping 12 different shutters with free produce. Be careful what you post. You're going to have 1,000 soon. But these are all absolutely great ideas too. Let's see what's going on Facebook here. Yeah, Diana says, make friends with people who sell produce. Always good to have friends. That is absolutely true. For anyone who's coming on live now, what we're all doing together is sharing tips on how to nourish yourself and your family without breaking the bank, to help people out who are struggling financially right now, either because of SNAP, government shutdown, or anyone who's struggling with the cost. And again, eating plant-based is going to save a lot of money for people who are, I hear people complaining all the time about the price of eggs, the price of meat, but still for some folks, even just getting regular produce and healthy foods is a struggle. So I'm encouraging all of you to contribute the ways that you that you do this for yourself. Let me see. Okay. Let's see. A lot of people saying check the markdown areas. Another one, Quantum, saying farmer market owners will give deals. Absolutely, especially at the end. Sunflower Market in Sarasota, Laura says, many great deals today. You do have to look at the dates. Yes. Let's see. Yeah, I found with farmers markets, a lot of stuff seems more expensive at the beginning, but I could always get the deals at the end. Some of you are saying you get better deals at the farmers market, generally speaking, and that wasn't what I experienced. But when they're about to close, yes, be like, what can you give me for this $20? And often it was, I was in tears, just, oh, thank you. So that is really awesome. Let me see here. Okay, Amy goes, so this is a good thing to check too. I live abroad and most foods are imported, but cabbage and bok choy are the cheapest to buy and easiest to grow. And sometimes frozen broccoli. So yeah, if you absolutely can't get fresh, then get the frozen. You got to survive, right? So this is a great idea too. Sometimes you have to just look to see what is the cheapest high nutrient veggie I could find. Maybe you're not going to find a deal on kale, but maybe you can find a deal on cabbage, or maybe they're having a deal on broccoli, or whatever it is, whatever they happen to have too much of, you can often get a deal on. So that's really important too. Melinda says, I heard someone say the worst grade of produce is better than the best grade of processed food. So I always remember that when I'm at the grocery store. It doesn't have to be perfect to be nutrients. Absolutely true. Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Natalie says, people always remove the outside leaves of fresh cabbage and chuck them back in the cabbage crate, and you can collect those leaves for free for their bunnies, but I collect them for my smoothies. Wow, that is so smart. I love that. That's a new one. I'm learning today things that I haven't actually learned about before. So that's fantastic. Okay, let's see here. Okay, wow. So Taisher Travel says that we started getting a 5-pound bag of spinach from Sam's, and it's under $5 to help with smoothies. Under $5, so you're getting it for less than $1 a pound. Whoa! All right, maybe I need the Sam's membership. That is $1 a pound for spinach. That's a sick deal. Wow, that is really, really cool. Also, buy fruit that are in season. Smart. That is smart. Let's see. Paul says, I need goats to weed the garden. I need someone to water it too. Yeah, I just not good with plants. What can I say? Let me see here. Microgreens during the winter, Linda says. let's see what else. Anyone, we're sharing ideas on saving money so people can nourish themselves and their family. Let's see if Instagram has some more ideas here. Beverly on Instagram says, I went to a food bank and the guy I saw, I grabbed bananas and he gave me a half box and I came home and froze them. That's awesome. You never know what you're going to get unless you ask for things. And you have to be willing to ask. Sometimes it can feel uncomfortable to be vulnerable, but you know what? We all need help sometimes. And one of the things my husband teaches when, what he used to teach on stage a lot. Now he's working with me all the time, helping people rapid recovery. But he was teaching the mindset of success. And one of the most important things that people need to learn, and I love the way he teaches it, is how to be good at receiving. There's the expression that he talks about is there's an expression saying it's better to give than receive. How many of you have heard that expression? Better to give than receive. But the way he describes it is the original expression actually is it's better to be in a position to give than have to be in a position to receive, which is true, right? It's better to have so much that you can give than to need it. But all of you givers out there, I'm one of them, right? I love taking care of people. I love giving, right? I love giving my time. I love giving my energy and attention to helping as much as I can. As good as it feels to give, the only way you can give is if there's someone else out there who is willing to receive it. Right? So if let's say I try to come on live so I can donate my time and help the public and nobody showed up, then I wouldn't be giving to anyone. And then it would feel crappy. Like, what am I doing here? There's nobody to help. Nobody's listening, right? So in order to give, we have to have someone who's willing to receive. And so if that is true, then the only way someone can experience the gift of giving, because it is a gift to be able to give, is if somebody else is willing to receive it, which means every time you ask for help, and somebody helps you, you are giving them the gift because they have the gift of giving now, all because you were willing to receive it. And you get the gift of course, what they gave you. And when you feel full and you're on your feet, you'll be able to give a gift to someone else who's in the position to need your help. And that is how we do a good job at being humans together as a people, as a race, as a species, is those of us who are in the position to give, we give. And those of us who are in the position that we need to receive, we receive knowing that it's still a gift to the people who are helping us. Because what I have found, and I have actually had to rehab myself in this area, thanks to my husband pointing it out to me all those years ago, is that those of us who love to give often are bad at receiving. Any of you relate to that? I was a bad receiver. I would help anybody who needed me. But if I had something wrong, I'd try to solve it myself because I didn't want to burden anyone. Now I rehab people with this problem. But my husband had to say to me, do you like helping people? And I was like, yeah, of course. That's why I have this job. And he goes, does it feel good? I was like, yeah, it always feels good. He goes, great. Will you let me feel that good and let me help you? And I was like, blew my mind and changed me. That moment, I never did it again. I decided to start just sharing how I felt openly. You might have noticed I share my life with you, even the painful parts, I share it so that I can be vulnerable and receive love and help when I need it, but also then give it to you, right? So I now let both ways happen and it makes me stronger. So I would add that to this topic because I think it's important, is if you need help, if you are hungry, if your family is struggling, then do go and look for help. Ask for help. Ask people, do you know anyone with a garden who might have extra produce? Go to every church and mosque and synagogue and place. Do you have volunteers that can help? Do you know where we can get more food for our family? Ask. And there will be people who will happily give it to you. And then when you are in the position of strength, you're going to get to give that gift to someone else. And that's important. So please do make sure that you are going out there and be willing to be vulnerable and let people help you. All right, let's see over here. Okay. So Andre's saying that she makes up most of her smoothie with spinach, which is cheaper, and then uses less of the other more expensive high nutrient vegetables. Some people have free grocery stores in their area, apparently, and also recommending churches. Yes, all of those places can really help. All right, let me see. Anyone on Instagram have some more some more ideas on how you can find ways to get cheaper produce, cheaper food, so that you can get through hard times. That's what we're doing today for just a little bit longer. Let me see. And you guys are giving great advice, really great advice. Let's see if we have some more new ideas. All right. Oh, and Sunshine and Puppy Dogs is saying not only to grow as much of your own food as you can, but there's a lot of free seeds available. Again, mind blown. I didn't know that. You guys are teaching me things. So free seeds. You'll have to write down where you get those free seeds, please, unless it's just out of the food that you're eating, because that would make sense. Let me see here. Oh, thanks, Oof Boy. All right. Oh, and Sunshine's also saying you can get free wood chip drops to use as mulch if you have enough space to have it delivered. So if you're giving advice like this, please tell us how, because those are all great. Let me see here. All right, so I'm not doing the normal Q&A today. We're only just offering support today. All of us as a community together, not just me, but all of you together, we're gonna help people who are struggling with financially being able to feed themselves and their families right now with all of our best ideas. All right. Again, someone's saying if you have any neighbors that garden, let them know. If you have extra produce, we could really appreciate it. Use your plant cuttings and kitchen scraps as compost. And use veggie scraps to make your own vegetable broth. Also great. All right, let's see here. Linda says they pick blueberries for $1.99 a pound at a local farm and freeze them. And they always have 30 pounds in their freezer. $1.99 a pound for blueberries is insane. That is a great deal. Wow. Let's see here. Wow, Sunshine, you've got a lot of ideas. You can make your own seasonings like onion powder, garlic powder out of skins of your own produce. I think you need to have like a whole thing for this. I'm learning things as well. Yes, Creative Heart says, if you have neighbors with fruit trees, see if you can pick it and then split what you pick. I have seen that so much in Texas and even in California, people who have like big lemon trees, apple trees, and the fruit's just on the ground and no one's eating it, no one's using it. And so, yeah, if you knock on one of their doors and say, hey, would you be interested if I picked everything there? Maybe I could split what I pick with you or anything like that. Maybe they'll even give it to you. But these are great ideas. And Philly, yeah, you can eat broccoli, carrot, and cauliflower leaves. I actually use those. I've blended, carrot leaves are bitter, but I've blended those into smoothie. Yeah, I eat all of the leaves on everything. I eat strawberry leaves. Yeah. I don't even take the top off. I just eat the whole strawberry with the leaves. So that's, let me see here. Lori Beal is saying Kroger and its family stores offer digital coupons and weekly specials for produce. I get a 4-pound bag of riced cauliflower for $7.98 at Costco. That's great. Publix offers BOGO and sometimes on some produce too. Let's see here. Rosalind's saying how to save on water if you use only bottled. If you're using only bottled, then I don't know, because I used to just drink out of the tap, straight out of the tap. I mean, even in the bathroom at the hospital when I was an intern, I just fill my water bottle right out of there. It's water, and it's, and I was fine. It never hurt me. Or using maybe you can get a water filter, and it would be worth the investment because then you can filter your own water and not have to keep buying bottles. But I don't know, maybe somebody else can provide an answer. I don't know how you save money while doing bottled water. That would be a tough one. All right, let's see here. Oh, it's just because you're afraid of microplastics. I think we have to kind of do risk assessments and do the thing that works the best. So things like microplastics, yeah, it can be, when you read about that, it's scary, but it's like, okay, what do I have power over? I need to get myself nourished. I need to get myself hydrated. Do the best you can, but don't stress so much. And if you can't afford all the bottling, then maybe for now you do the water filtering. And when you're feeling like you're in a better place, maybe you can afford that. But I don't do that, and it hasn't affected my health in any measurable way right now. We have to do our best and save when we need to, right? Let's see what else. Let me see. Creative Heart, sprouts are easy and cheap to grow. Fantastic. Ivana, watch my free classes right now to learn how to, oh, by the way, watch them now. It was my October anniversary to put them up for free. I'm putting pressure on you. I always like to do it limited to pressure you to watch them and learn. Go to goodbyelupus.com. I teach how you convert the LA into EPA. Let's see here. Yes, Terry, in Orange County, we have a farmer's market. I always comment to them and say thank you if it's pay, if you can. Honestly, I cannot afford it. You get $30 worth of produce. So yeah, I was in Long Beach, but in California, if you let them know or if you wait till the end, great discounts. Patricia's saying in our church in Westchester, we'll be serving meals in December. Let me see here. What else? Anyone else have some? Let me look on Instagram. Have you have some more ideas on how people can save money? How do you save money while still, or at least be able to afford everything that you need? All right, let's see. And Yarragons, yes, I have somebody I'm working with right now for that. Let me see. All right, the chronotype for France, Grand Fras, I don't want to say it wrong, has shelves of loose spinach for low cost. It's Grand, F-R-A-I-C, or Grand. Let me see here. All right. Beverly on Instagram says, use purple cabbage, good price, and gets you to a pound fast. Yep, it's heavy, and so it'll do that. Let's see here. Oh, Aphrodite and Smoothie Shred, great idea. A grocery store gift card from family and friends can be helpful as well. That is fantastic, and especially with the holidays coming, if people want to know what you want for holidays, asking for gift cards to supermarkets, that's a great idea to say, hey, you know what? We don't need to have, we don't need any other gifts this year. We love just a gift card to Walmart or supermarket or wherever you can get the best deals on your produce. That is a fantastic idea. I love it. See, you all are so smart. Come up with so many more ideas. Okay, let's see. Camilla Flanagan says, making vegetable broth from leftovers and freezing your fruit. Absolutely. If the fruit is on sale, buy it bulk and freeze it. If you need to get, like, go on Amazon Marketplace and get a deep freezer so you can store it all, worth it. So that is a great idea. And again, this is survival time too. If you can only buy frozen produce instead of fresh, okay, get what you can, right? Survive. But these are so many ways that you can still hyper-nourish as well. So that is fantastic. I love all of these different ideas. All right. Let's see here. We'll get back to the normal Q&A next time, I promise. But it is an important thing to talk about right now. Okay, Mark Hart says, Smart and Final has a huge bag of kale for $10. It's good for the whole week. Big container of spinach, $6 in a big container. Sometimes bananas are 49 cents a pound, and yellow is 29 cents. So these are all great. Jeannie Camacho on Facebook says, some of the natural grocers have fruit and vegetables that they can't sell anymore because they're bruised or close to expiring, and they'll pull it off the shelf and save it for people who have chickens or other livestock for free. I've seen a lot of supermarkets where they'll put fruit there for free, like to have a snack or for kids, grab it. But yes, the bruised produce, they often will give that away. I have seen that as well. So these are all really great ideas. Let's see here. Yes, in Arizona, you might have trouble finding people who are growing their own produce. All right, let's see here. If we have any other ideas. All right, grocery outlet. Alok Sharma says, Sprout Farmers Market have green manager specials at cheap price. And they also have senior days as well, I've noticed, and there's sale days. So talk to supermarkets and the produce managers especially, and ask them when they have their sale days. So do all things with love says fermenting is a great way to preserve food. So yeah, I guess if it's starting to go, you can ferment it. So these are all great. All right, so I have to jump off, but keep this going. I think it's so important. Let's have this post become a post where people are continuing to offer their advice and their methods that have helped them with staying nourished and fed through hard financial times. Because even when the government shutdowns is over and SNAP benefits hopefully are back, there's still going to be people who are in this position who want to get their health back, who want to have healthy meals for their family, but are struggling with finances. And yes, while it is definitely cheaper to eat plants than meat and eggs and dairy, there are still people who are struggling at all to find ways to feed their families. So I really love this. I think on YouTube specifically, once I stop being live, it actually deletes the comments. So if you want to start fresh on YouTube, do that. On Facebook and on Instagram, it'll be deleted too, unfortunately. So we're gonna, when I repost it, we can start fresh. But if you see this video and you have tips that have saved you money and helped you feed your family, let's keep this going so that whenever this question comes up again, we'll be able to point people to this and it'll be a resource, because it's important. It's important that we all find a way to support each other and to feed ourselves and our families and to be healthy and to be well. So I'm going to keep this up here and make sure that it stays up here. And please continue to share your help and advice with each other. I'll be back next week for a more typical Wellness Wednesday with Q&A. In the meantime, make sure you go to goodbyelupus.com to watch my free classes. A lot of the questions I see flying by are asking me things that are in my classes. And make sure you see it by Friday. So go to goodbyelupus.com. It's totally free, okay? There's no hidden secrets that you have to buy to get. I share the entire protocol. And people heal on it. I actually just last night had to cancel an appointment. Someone's already taken the spot, but I canceled an appointment because someone wrote to me and said, I made the appointment, but in the meantime, I followed your book, Goodbye Lupus, your recipes, and my free classes, and my ANA is already negative. I don't have a disease anymore. Can I cancel the appointment? And I said, absolutely you can. This is the best. I love when people cancel because they already healed using my free classes and my free resources or my cheap books in order to actually get themselves better and not even need my help anymore. That is my goal. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this with my time as much as possible. So make sure you go to goodbyelupus.com so that you can watch those classes, learn and start and do the best you can. All right, do the best you can do right now, and your best will get even better with time. And if you need help, I see some people ask about it. Yes, I do still help people personally. Goodbyelupus.com is the free classes, but there's also ways to work with me if you need to. But use my resources. I have so many free resources, including my Wellness Wednesdays that have so much information that's really helping people take their lives back. And that's what I want for you. So I wish you the best of health, and let's keep this feed going and continuing to support each other. And I'll see you next week. Bye, everybody. Sending my love out for all of you.